Hey guys, welcome to Rip Off Monster Hunter. So today I just want to talk about some problems with this game. If you don't know what it's called Dauntless. And this game actually used to be decent before it was ruined, sadly. And I just want to talk about some of the issues with it. First, I'll go over the pros. It's going to be super quick, so don't worry guys. It won't take long. There's not a lot of pros here for this game, which is sad. I'm not like gloating like, ah man, this game is terrible. How could anyone like this game? If you like this game, that's fine and good for you. I think this game is pretty bad, and it's unfortunate that it turned out this way. So the pros, the art style is really nice, and obviously the concept of Monster Hunter is awesome and cool as heck. Yeah, but that's about all it's got going for it. Let's be honest here. The rest of this game is utter garbage, especially with some of the newer updates. So let's talk about the newer updates. So I think it was called Dauntless Reforged. That kind of ruined this game for me. And it's the patch that we have now, which is unfortunate to say the least. And essentially what it does is it increases the grind of this game. I'll go into more detail later, but let's just talk about some basic game design. If you want people to play your game for any length of time, grinding is not a way to do it. And if there is grinding, it better well be fun grinding. Like Monster Hunter. I love playing Monster Hunter. I play Monster Hunter on my 3DS. Or I used to anyways. I don't really now. I don't really do it now. But I used to. And that was an example of fun grinding. You know why? Because there's massive monster variety and diversity. And you remember these monsters. They're a challenge. They're difficult. You're like, oh man, I really hate, whatever, that one monster. Man, it really whooped me a couple of times, but now I know its moveset. Whereas this game has interesting monster concepts, but that kind of turn out the same. You have a lot of, you see like this big giant monster. What is this movement? Where is it going? Its attacks are massively telegraphed, providing little to no challenge to this game. A lot of it is just flinging its body around. It seems to be poison themed to say the least, but it doesn't really communicate that effectively. It looks poison themed. It does some poison damage, but that's not the main threat. You see, really the only damage I've taken from this monster is when it body slams me or tramples me, which is what every single monster does. That's a move that every monster has, and it makes them forgettable, to be honest. I don't remember these monsters. They don't stick in my brain. If I'm fighting a monster repeatedly, I may learn it. That's just for grinding. So yes, this game is incredibly grindy, maybe even more so than Monster Hunter. I'm not entirely sure. But it's pretty bad to say the least. There is a lot of grind to this game. In order to get even just past the early game, even to unlock just some weapons. Some weapons are unlocked behind a grind fest. I don't know what you call it. Like the gauntlet strikers, and then like the pistols, which is awful, to say the least. It doesn't take too much grinding to get those, so maybe I shouldn't harp too much on that. And they actually provide a nice bit of weapon diversity, which I guess is a pro that I should add. Those weapons really add a lot to the game, and it's sad that they're not focused on more and that there's not more weapon diversity. But yeah, so they don't make the grinding fun because the monsters aren't fun to fight. I've been spamming left click this whole time. Left click and then I dodge sometimes. And that's about all it takes for me to win this fight. If you go above anything other than hard, it's unbeatable. Even if you're like really good, you basically get one hit. Some moves are incredibly telegraphed, some aren't. This game is just really weird. I don't know what they did, but it feels like it's fake. It's fake difficulty. Something that just came to mind is that it's artificial. The difficulty comes from the damage the monsters do instead of the uniqueness or the fun gimmicks, although I feel like gimmicks is like derogatory because in this case gimmicks would be a good thing. But these monsters just don't have fun, effective, challenging gimmicks. You want a challenge in a game, but you don't want it to be insanely difficult just for the purpose of difficulty, which this game definitely doesn't accomplish, if that's what it was going for. I mean, who wouldn't avoid that headbutt? That was the easiest thing to dodge ever. So that's my main problems with this game: the grinding, and that it can't decide what it wants to be. It's neither difficult nor creative nor fun to play. If I would never recommend this game. In the current state it's in, there's no reason for me to recommend this game. If you have the time to grind this game, you have the $30 to spare for Monster Hunter World on the PC. Or there's even a Monster Hunter Rise coming to the Nintendo Switch. I mention that because this game is also on the Nintendo Switch. I see no reason to play this game, in all honesty. It brings nothing. Unless you've somehow formed a community based on this game, I can't see why you would play this game, which is really disappointing to me. So let's go over what I think the devs could fix. Well, I think adding more monsters isn't something they feasibly should do right now, because just adding more different monsters isn't going to help, because you know what they're going to turn out like? They're going to have like one cool move, and then the rest is just going to be a bunch of trampling or jumping or kicking with their legs or something of that sort. Because, you know, that's really the only moves they have available to them. So they need to either make this game challenging or fun to play, or both, for anyone to have attraction to this game. Is essentially what needs to happen. And also, I didn't really mention it because, to be honest, story isn't really an integral part of a game to me. A game like this, like multiplayer games, I couldn't care less about the story. Yeah, but this game has no story either, so that's another reason not to play it. I mean, maybe if there was a decent story, you could consider playing this, like if it was part of like a franchise or something. Maybe that's why you'd want to play it. I don't know. But yeah, so the devs really need to make fun monsters to fight, monsters that stick in your brain, that make you go, oh wow, I really dislike that monster, not because it can one-hit me, but because it has this really annoying frostbite that I have to bring a specific item to counter it. Or, wow, I really like this game, even though it takes grinding. The grinding is always fun and interesting, and I don't feel like that I'm wasting my time playing this game. So that's basically my gripes with the game. I'd say there aren't too many pros. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here because I'm kind of rambling at this point. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you guys later. Adios.